Hello and welcome back to another video, and here we are with the very long awaited and asked for part 3 to my drawing people in Warrior Cats Ultimate Edition. Right off the bat, here we are looking for some victims to draw, and since I allowed people to join me in the experience, I'm pretty sure most of the people I drew right here are subscribed. So I didn't want to draw a lot of subscribers, and if I do a part 4, I won't be letting people join, because that way I'm just doing free commissions for people, and I'm not trying to do that. So this was just a special for the 3K thingy, because I turned out I couldn't do the Q&A, because my first plan was to go live, but then that didn't work very well. And then I decided I'd just record it, and that was a lot of work. And I would just be doing a lot of work for people to just probably either skip to the end or not watch it at all, even though a lot of you guys said you watch it. I don't believe you. Because I know I wouldn't watch that. And so yeah, I just decided to change it for this thing that a lot of people always ask for, and literally every video I post, someone always asks about the part 3. So here it is. But don't worry, your questions are not going to waste. At the end of every video that I do a voiceover for, I'm going to answer 3 or 4 questions that people commented. I will be prioritizing the questions that were asked for the Q&A, but if you have any questions of your own, feel free to comment them down on the video. But I'll be answering the questions asked for the Q&A first. Anyway, I completely lost track of how many people I was gonna draw. So instead of 4 character designs like the other videos, I'm drawing 6. Yeah, there's that. But I wasn't calling it off. No, of course I'm gonna draw 6 different, very detailed characters. So now we're coming to the end of my little recording session. Here are me taking a screenshot with a bunch of lovely people that joined, and that was so much fun. Thank you so much for everybody that showed up. Anyway, here we are with our first character design. This is Lemon Shark. He is a gentle social Tom who looks bitter, and that is a very unique personality. I've never seen a character with a description quite like that, but I like it. It was kind of a challenge to merge that personality into his design, because I like making my characters look like their personality. So that was probably the biggest challenge about his design. The rest was pretty chill and fun to make. Hello, this is Tef from the future. I'm currently editing this video. This video is gonna have to have a lot of big gaps of silence, because I was going to use the CapCut audio library thing for background music, but I've recently found out that not all CapCut music is copyright free, and since this video is very long, it would be a pain to screen record some copyright free music and put it in here. And screen recording and putting it in here is the normal way for CapCut to insert audio. So this video is going to have a lot of silent spots, and if the silence bothers you, I recommend playing some music somewhere else in your room, like maybe in a different device. Okay, thanks for listening. I'm passing the mic back to Past Tef. This was a really fun design to color, because he's a relatively simple looking character, so there wasn't a lot of details I had to recreate, and whatever details there was, I could just simplify them, because my style is a relatively simple style, so I usually have to simplify the character designs and stuff. But this one, it was really fun, and I think he turned out looking really good. It's probably one of my favorites out of this drawing challenge I've ever done. So, as you might be able to tell, there is something different about this video. I am actually shading the character. I don't shade characters a lot, even though I do enjoy shading. I really like messing with dramatic lighting. So I decided that I would give these characters some shading because I didn't want them to look boring and flat. So here we are applying the shadows. I just think it makes the character pop so much more. And at the end of the speed paint, you'll see what I mean. The character just looks so much more alive with the shading. If you do not know, the type of shading I used for this character is cell shading. Usually I do kind of use a mix of both cell and soft shading. As you can see right now, I use the airbrush to represent soft shading. I think it looks good to use a balance of both. I just like how it looks with the character at the end. So I used warm light for this, for Lemon Shark, because I thought it'd be a good contrast with most of his cool colors. And it turned out good. I really like it. I actually put my signature this time because I am trying to be professional. So here is Lemon Shark with shading and lighting and without, and doesn't it make a huge difference. But moving on, here we have Lynx Whisper. She is a swift she-cat who's protective of those she loves. And she has that really cool ear glitch that I myself have not tried out yet. It looks so cute. Look at that, with one ear floppy and the other one not. Look at it. It's adorable. In fact, I think my first character from the first video for the drawing people in Warrior Cats actually had this glitch too. So it's nice to draw it again. So, Lynx Whisper has a chain, and I attempted to draw it by hand, but I gave up on that and just used the chain brush on Clip Studio, and it actually worked really well for that. But when I was doing the line art, I did, instead of using the brush again, I traced it, because I thought it'd be easier to color it that way. Now with the coloring. The coloring is probably my favorite part of every art, because with coloring, there's always something new you have to do. With the line art, it just feels very repetitive. I don't like doing the line art. It's like my least favorite part of the art. But anyway, here we are. Her design was pretty hard to translate into my style, because she does have a lot of little details. So I was really struggling with the spots on her back and the brindle on her face. But I ended up doing something that looked relatively good. And I really like how she turned out in the end. And I really love how she has a spotted nose. So I just made her ears spotted too. I just think it was a really nice detail. So now here we are with the shading. I admit I am not extremely proud of the shading I did for Lynx Whisper. And if I weren't in a hurry, I'd probably go back and change it. But I really want to get started on doing a different video. So we'll have to stick with what we got right here. Also, I have to mention, since I started recording at the Rogues and Loners spot, and everybody who joined, every sub that joined, had an OC with a warrior name, but their role was a loner, so I just assumed they're warriors. I could be wrong. They could be one of those loners with a suffix, with a prefix and a suffix. I see those around the game a lot. So I'm just hoping I assumed correctly. So here she is with shading and all, and without shading, and oh boy, does it look different without it. Moving on, we have another character. This one has an apprentice name. Her name is Rabbitpaw, a quiet, nervous, shy she-cat. And this one was a struggle to draw the pose for. I wanted to draw it at this angle with the camera slightly tilted upwards and like she looking up at it. But I was really struggling with that angle. I've had difficulties with this angle before, but I'm always determined to use it because it's a really nice angle. I really liked how the pose was looking. I have mixed feelings with those left legs, but overall it was really nice. It was the face that was throwing me off. I did not like it. I just didn't think, and it just looks bad. Look at her face. Her nose is so big. So I just gave up on that pose completely and drew a different one. Off screen, of course, because I have a reputation with drawing better off screen, as some older subscribers might remember. But anyway, here she is. I think this pose worked nicely, even though I really wished I could have pulled off the other one. But this one isn't terrible. I like it. The eyes were a bit big, but I'm happy I caught that and fixed it. Now to the coloring. This was a very simple design, and I feel like simple designs are always super hard to make because any little mistake you make will get full attention of the person that's looking at your art when there's not much else to look at. Like, you make one mistake and everybody can see that. So the stripes were really hard to make. It was really hard to make the stripes look good. But I ended up with this sharp looking kind of stripes, and I think it looks okay. The face was really hard too. I tried my best to make it look like the morph, but I had to change some things. And I tried adding a few other details to make it more interesting, but I like the simplicity of it, so I just left it like that. So we've come to the end of Rabbitpaw's speed paint. I just assumed she was an apprentice because of her suffix. And here she is with shading and without shading. Moving on, we have my friend's character. I will link her YouTube channel in the description. This character was really fun to make. I just really loved making this pose and expression. It was really fun. And the short tail. I love cats with short tails. It's just so fun to draw that short tail. Anyways, this is Rabbitpaw. And my friend's exact words for her description were Rabbitpaw is a very annoying and energetic she-cat, and she's a little dumb. So yeah, that's a fun personality. It reminds me of Squirrel. So Rabbitpaw has a lot of little fun details I got to draw. The mud on her paws was really fun to sketch, and I put some mud on her face too, as if she had just run through a mud puddle. Oh my god, my canvas is like having a seizure right now. It's moving so much. I don't like using this built-in screen recorder thing from Clip Studio because storage space and all that jazz, so I use something else, but it captures all my zooming in and zooming out, so I hope you guys don't mind that. So coloring. Rabbitpaw has a really interesting design, and it was a bit hard to translate it into my style, especially with all the little details she has. But, I like a good challenge, and it was pretty fun to have a design this unique. So here we are at the end of Rabbitpaw's speed paint. She was really fun to work with all her little details and fun colors. So, only 2 more designs to go till this video is over. But this design in particular right here is one I was excited to talk about. This right here is Splashstone. He is a calm, gentle Tom who is strong and clever. And there is something special about his design. His design is a lot like my old YouTube OC, Whispering Breeze. I don't know if you guys knew that was her name, but that is her name. I was very unoriginal with Whispering Breeze. I just had this morph on the game and I liked it and I made it my main OC. But then I changed it because I grew out of her. So it was really fun working with this design again, especially with a character like this, because I really liked making his expression and his fluffy mane. Now we have reached the coloring stage, the best stage, the I actually have something to talk about stage. Coloring Splashstone was really fun. I didn't want to make him look a lot like Whispering Breeze because her colors were very bold, and I'm trying to go towards semi-realism over here. So instead of a bright blue and a bright pink like I did for Whispering Breeze, I chose more of a muted blue towards the grayscale and more of a muted pink towards an orangey pink, peachy color. And I like it. It looks very nice. This is probably one of my favorite designs. I just think he looks very nice. This is a very popular morph in the Weird Cats game. And so everybody probably has had it at some point or seen it at some point in the game. So it was really fun working with that. It's a very beautiful morph. I can see why it's so popular, because it's just so pretty. And now we have reached the phase where I put some light into the character. I decided the light would be coming from the upper right corner. That is probably my favorite spot for the light source. I don't know why, I just like it. So, yes, here we are at the end of Splashstone Speed Paint. He was probably one of my favorites. Here's him with shading and stuff, and without. Moving on to our next character, we have Aloo. I am aware that this is someone's YouTube channel or OC, so there is a reference sheet somewhere out there for this character. But I did not want to look at the reference sheet because I am not making free commissions. I am drawing morphs. So the only thing I can use as a reference are the morphs. So yes, Aloo is a mysterious she that roams the dark afterlife of the tribe cats. And that is very interesting and has a lot of potential. So I wanted to make her look very mysterious, like she wants to give you a prophecy. Like she's waiting for you at the end of an alley saying, "Come here, kid, I have a side quest for you." So yes, it was really fun to make her fluffy mane. That was probably my favorite part of her design. Apart from that, the hardest part were her eyes. For some reason, I was struggling to make those eyes look good. But I managed to do something that didn't look terrible. So coloring, I actually forgot to add her little accessories, and I added them in, as you can see right now. But I didn't add the bow because I had put all this fur on her face, and it would look weird if I took it out now. So I just left it out. Sorry about that. For the patterns in her face, I gave her sort of like this star looking thing and these teardrops shaped stuff under her eyes because I just thought it was a nice detail. The shading. I decided the light would be coming from below, and I'm not the best at shading light from below. So I had to look up a few videos and a few references, and it took me a very long time to get this right. A lot of failed attempts. But in the end, I guess it looks okay. It doesn't look great, but it looks okay. You can sort of tell the light is coming from below. So this was my first attempt at the light coming from below. And looking back at it now, it doesn't look terrible. It actually looks really nice and clean. And then I added these blurs to make it look softer. I'm not sure. And then I just kept messing around with it, trying to find a way that it looked nice. And so I ended up using the shading assist. I always try to use the shading assist with shading, but I never like how it looks. So I decided I'd just use it as a reference and then sort of edit it to make it look nicer, because it's not that great, honestly. So I ended up making the light like this and adding a motion blur, because I guess it looks nice like that. It's not the best. I could have maybe made her shadows darker, but it's not the worst either. She looks good, and she has sort of a mysterious vibe to it, and I like that. So here we are at the end. It felt like this was taking forever to make, but finally it is out. So as promised, here are the few couple of questions I will be answering today. I have chosen two people, and they each have quite the handful of questions, and that's not bad. It'll be fun to answer these. First, we have this lovely human being right here that I would not try to pronounce the username of because I will probably get it wrong. First question, what's my favorite Warriors book? That has to be Crooked Star's Promise and Tall Star's Revenge, definitely. And definitely Thunder from A Starless Clan. Starless Clan is great. My favorite Wildcats character, probably Crooked Star, Brightheart, Jade Feather. It's a long list, but these are the first one that comes to my mind. Oh, and Briarlight. I love Briarlight. Which Warrior series is my favorite? Dawn of the Clans and Starless Clan, definitely. And what kind of cats do I like drawing the most? Fluffy cats, and like cats with very unique characteristics. Those are really fun. And how did I come up with my channel name? This is something I was waiting so long for anybody to ask, because this is something I've been wanting to explain ever since my early days in YouTube with 300 subscribers. I was waiting for this moment my whole life. So, story time. I have two cats, Tef and Padma. Did it explain anything? You guys get it? So, a long time ago, when I was like maybe fourth or third grade, my dad was helping me make a PS4 account, and we needed a username for me, and I didn't know what to put, so he just suggested Tev_Padma, and I was like, yeah, I like that. And ever since that day, every single game or whatever that required a username, my username would be Tev_Padma. So when I was making my YouTube channel, Tev_Padma became my channel name because I was used to that username, and I like it. So yes, my kitty cat's names are my channel name, basically my name. It was kind of weird at first getting called by my daughter's names, but it's fine now. Next we have Bluestream WCUE. First question, how did I find out about Warriors and Wings of Fire? I actually found out about Wings of Fire before I found out about Warriors. It was probably back in like first grade, maybe second. There was a book fair thing, and there was this dragon book that was a comic book. Wow, I was so excited, and I bought it, this graphic novel. And I think I read it. I don't remember. I read it, but I didn't really become a fan right away. Honestly, I only really became a huge fan of Wings of Fire like a few months ago when I read the Moon Rising graphic novel. I never read the chapter books. I've only ever read the graphic novels. So right now I'm waiting for the next graphic novel. I've already read Winter Turning though. Now I'm just waiting for Escaping Peril. But then skip time to like 4th grade. We were at the school library checking out books to read, and my friend picked up this book with a kitty cat on the cover, and I told her to tell me that if it was good so that I could read it. But then when she came back, she said the book was really scary and it was terrible. But I decided I was going to read it anyway. And guess what? This scary book she thought was terrible is my favorite thing. I am obsessed with it to this day. It lies in my heart. It is precious. I shall never forget. Next question. What's my favorite medicine cat? Jay Feather. Jay Feather. I love Jay Feather. He's such an angry child, and I love that. He is amazing. He is so sarcastic, just like me. Next question is, when did I start drawing? Honestly, I've always liked art. I've always been that one kid that is super excited for art class. But I've only really tried to learn art and understand art once I got into Warrior Cats and I found out about fan art and maps and all that jazz. So Warrior Cats is basically what set me into my art journey. And last question is how I am so underrated. I actually do not know, and I think I'm at a good amount of subscribers. Thank you so much to all 3K plus of you guys. We would not be here without the amazing subscribers. And I know literally every single YouTuber says they love their subscribers, but it's true. We love our subscribers. A channel without its subscribers is just another YouTube account. So thank you so much if you made it to the end. I'll see you guys at the next video. And at every video that I do a voiceover, I will answer a few questions at the end. So thank you for being here. Thank you for getting us to 3K. And I'll see you next time.